Hello, welcome to Weakness to Peakness. I'm Adrian. It's been a few days since I made my announcement. This is day 2 of the MacroFactor 100-Day Transformation Challenge. Um, However, I had to get all my goals and all my stuff in line, as tomorrow will be my first day of the actual exercise activities. I had to write down everything that I planned on doing and really look at myself. What were my actual goals? I took this challenge on last minute, and what was I going to achieve? How was I going to get there? And what needed to happen? As of this year, or actually, since sometime last year, I was hoping to begin a diet in the first place. Um, However, family, etc., and just laziness on my part led me to not start my diet until literally the day of the challenge. So I think I've already disqualified myself in a way because I've actually lost almost 8 pounds in 2 days. Um, I've started with a carnivore diet, and I'll get more into that later on. But I just kind of want to give you who I am. Um, how am I going to do this challenge, and what are my next steps? So, I'm Adrian Navarro. I'm 47 years old. I was 250 pounds 2 days ago. I'm 5'5", so you can kind of picture that. I'm pretty roly-poly. Um, and I just want to make a better life for myself. So, how did I really get to where I am today? I like eating. I love eating. Um, I really, really enjoy eating. I don't know why. It's been a thing since I was young and little. Until I was 12, I was what they consider husky. So basically, about the same as I am now, just a little kid. Um, and I was blessed. I actually lived across the street from Mr. California in 1985. Um, and I got to see him and his brother, and these were both massive gentlemen. And I begged and pleaded and begged and pleaded. And one day my mom went over and actually talked to him and said, "Hey, my son really liked this." And Tim Touchstone actually came over and said, "I'll make a deal with you. If you go and you get straight A's, I'll make you a plan." Uh, 30 days later, the end of the season, or well, school year, right before I was going into junior high, he gave me a plan. Very basic, but junior year, my first year of junior year, I had lost 40 pounds. I was massive for me, um, and I felt good about myself. But I did all this stuff, and I kept eating and kept eating and kept eating. But I was active. I was wrestling. I was playing football. I was pole vaulter. I was doing all these things. And I got in the military, and I was constantly going, 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 going. Then I got out, and well, I kept eating the same way, but I wasn't working out the same way. I wasn't running. I wasn't doing push-ups every time I entered a door. For all my military friends out there who happen to go through some of the trainings I got through, I wasn't doing sit-ups every time I went out the door. I wasn't doing a pull-up every time I went into a clubhouse. I wasn't doing all the exercises that I was doing before and keeping myself to where I could maintain that kind of calorie intake. I wasn't doing 8K walks every day. Um, so I get down to the point where I just kept eating, and didn't do anything. And I finally, about 3 years ago, got myself this nice rack behind me and was like, I'm going to use it, I'm going to use it, I'm going to use it, I'm going to use it. And I just kept putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. I finally got to the point where I'm fed up. And the MacroFactor Challenge gave me the desire to want to do this. And helped give that little pinprick to say, it's that little tipping point, when the water's just on the edge of the glass, it's ready to boil over, and that drop hits it and it spills over. That's where I'm at. So after a lot of thought, I really sat down and said, well, why am I actually doing this challenge? The things I've told you. I want to get back into shape. I'm going to do this for my overall health. I don't know if it's that visible, but it's pretty visible to me. I deal with skin conditions. I have rosacea. And that rosacea creates, scaling, patching, breaking skin, red cheeks, red face, butterfly. When it gets real bad, a lot of that is issues. I also have IBS, so I have gut health issues. And those things just add the additional triggers to trigger my rosacea, which then causes my skin to bleed. For me to get almost basically dandruff, but on my face and in my hair, and I don't like it. I want to feel confident in my body again. And then lastly, really, as I said, it's a struggle to put my shoes on. It's a struggle to put my clothes on without grunting or wheezing or going up a flight of stairs. And I was like, it's my heart. I know that. My lungs are good. I can take in a deep breath. So it's got to be my heart. My heart's racing. And over the last few months, I've been kind of monitoring that. And, my normal heart rate's running somewhere around 94 beats per second, per minute or whatever it is, the BPM. And it's just been rough. So after all these thoughts and why am I actually doing this challenge? What am I doing this? It's not really just for the challenge. This is actually the start. This is only the start. This is going to be the chunk. This is going to be the catalyst to get me on my future goals. And how do I plan to achieve those? Well, I plan to lose weight and gain muscle. So I'm going to hopefully increase my heart health, my VO2 max. I shouldn't be having that elevated heart rate. I want to change my physique in the long term, not just lose a little bit of weight, not just, lose massive amounts of weight. I want to actually build muscle. I can carry the weight, but I need to lose the weight so I get the appearance. I'd love to have that V shape again. I'd like to be able to show off and show my lats and show off my chest and show off my shoulders and show off my arms. I'd love to freaking have that body again. It probably won't ever be the same, but I'll feel it. If you feel it, you know it. And eventually, as I drop a lot of this weight, I'm hoping to start getting back into the practice I did when I wrestled a lot or in the military. I want to be able to run 2 to 3 miles a day, hopefully with my lowest mile being within that 6-minute range. I'd like to be able to go out and say, yeah, I'm going to take a 30-minute run and hit 2 to 3 miles. Easy. I want to better myself, not just for now, but for the long term. We're talking about my appearance, and then overall, I really want my well-being to change. This is not just a body change. This is not just a physical attributes change. This is also my mental health change. This is something that I've never known how to say it because it's so strange. Because when I was skinny, because I was fat once before, I always had other people's backs. I was always there to defend them, back them up. The people picking on people was there to get in the way. And then I noticed that, hey, you get back in this fat mode of myself, I'm not saying anybody else. If someone else happens to be in the, crowd of also being heavy like me, they're very defensive of people. I freaking amen to you, but that's not me. I found myself reverting. I used to be a very extroverted person. I found myself to become more of an introverted person. I don't know if it's the personal shyness or I'm worried about my appearance. I don't know if subconsciously something changes because I know I haven't changed other than physically, or there's something that's mentally changing me. So I want to change that mental state. I want to be in it to where I'm like, I'm going to be healthy, I'm going to get healthy, and I'm going to stay healthy. This isn't just for a challenge. Let me talk about how I'm going to achieve this. Again, that's kind of why this took so long, is I had to write everything out. What exactly is going to be my plan? I can't just sit there and, wing it. Probably could, but I'd probably fail. Or I'd be really successful in one area and I'd miss others. So my plan is first, diet change. This is a very extreme diet, and anybody who tries the carnivore diet, please consult with your doctor first. My doctor, however, says that, hey, my blood works okay. I'm not diabetic yet, thankfully. Uh, However, if you have these conditions, just consult with your doctor first if you ever to take this on. But the carnivore diet is a very extreme diet. It's very similar to to keto. However, it's a little more strict. You're only dealing with animal products, and you're pretty much meats, chickens, porks, um, eggs. Uh, you could do dairy. However, some people have found that dairy is actually something that's causing their issues, or if it's produced or pasteurized, it kills off some of the vitamins. Additionally, they add a lot of sugars. But these are things. So if you're willing to do that kind of thing, great. More power to you. I just suggest doing that. But for me, that was my change, and with my doctor's approval, that's what we're doing. Clearly, it's working drastically. I assume most of it's water weight. Now that my body's flushing through this stuff, but that's my first step. Additionally, I'm increasing my water intake, so I know that I'm going to be more active. I'm going to be eating foods that aren't going to hold on to foods. I'm not going to be holding a whole bunch of fat or storing a whole bunch of carbs now that can be these energy sources. And I'm probably going to get dehydrated. So I'm increasing my water intake from an average of 64 ounces a day to 100 to 120. I'm pretty much doubling my water intake. Additionally, I'm taking some supplements. These are more for my muscle growth, also to kind of hold some water. Additionally, for any like small minerals that I may be losing or missing out during this carnivore diet phase. So I'm actually taking Centrum, men's supplement, just a multivitamin. I'm also taking potassium, glucosamine, and I'm also taking magnesium at 400 milligrams. These are just the supplements for the minerals that my body may not be getting because I'm no longer eating fruits, vegetables, any kind of carb source. I am also, for muscle growth and water retention, taking creatine. Creatine will help you out there 5 milligrams a day. You probably won't see any kind of strength benefits or maybe water retention. You might feel a little bit of bloating from it for the first week or so. I'm only saying this based on my past experience with it, but you will see it when it comes to strength gains, when you're really wanting your muscles to feel that fullness. I know this from ages ago. And then lastly, I will be supplementing some of my protein intake, probably with shakes. And those are high protein shakes. I recommend isolate. It's easier on your stomach. However, again, there may be other feedback that you get out there. But for myself, I use Dimetize 100 or 1000. I can't remember which one it is, but it's Dimetize isolate, and it's working for me. Now I talked about the activity change. I'm going to do this in a structured way, basically every single day. And for the past 2 days, I have actually kept up to this. I'm going to get a minimum of 8K steps a day and hopefully shoot for 10K. I don't want to go way, way over that. I'm not trying to kill my body. This is just to get my cardio and start to build that heartbeat up. I should be walking at a speed, 2 to 3 miles per hour speed, just to get my heart rate up to 120. Keep that in the 120, 140 range, and do that until I get at least a minimum of 8K steps. If time is a concern for you, I recommend, hey, get up every hour or something. Just take a lap around somewhere. If you can't really leave your house or you can't leave your job site, go walk around the parking lot. If you're at home, you got a small thing, go walk back and forth down the hallway, or you have ways to do this. Small steps, small increments throughout the day add up. I'm also going to exercise a minimum of 60 minutes to begin with, 3 days a week. And as my body starts to adjust, up to 6 days a week. I will break down my plans when I start doing that on those days when I actually perform those workouts. I'm going to start off with a very basic workout routine, which is going to be a full body course. Very, very basic. This is going to be all compound movements, meaning that I'm incorporating more than one muscle group. So like a bench press, I'm going to hit with a bench press, you're going to get your chest, you're going to get your shoulders, you're going to get your triceps, you're going to get a little bit of your, a little bit of your forearms. You're going to get a little bit of your core stabilization. You're going to get a little bit of your back tightening to hold up. Same exact thing with bent over barbell rows. You're getting your lower back, your core to hold. You're getting your back. You're getting your rear biceps. You're getting your rear delts. Sorry, your biceps. You're getting your wrists. You're getting your forearms. And for my legs, I'm probably just going to be doing squats and lunges. But these are the basic exercises I'll probably be doing to start with. This is just to get my body going, to make sure that everything is building. And then after a week, I'm going to see how my body's reacting. Am I recovering fast enough? Am I having difficulty? Am I feeling the weights too heavy, too light? Where do I need to go? And I'll probably start out really light. Only thing I can ever say about that is start lighter than heavier. Get yourself, make sure you're in a way that whatever exercise you are performing, that it feels good. You know that, all muscles are firing correctly. That you're not just, if you're doing a chest press, you're not only filling your chest or you're only filling your shoulders. So you want to make sure that you're filling a little bit of everything working. Because if it's not, when you start getting up those higher weights, you'll start having potentially issues where a weakness or an area of failure might fall in. And so this is going to be kind of a drastic ramp up. You're probably going to see me go from a week to 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks of doing very simple exercises to suddenly I might be doing, well, at least what I would call multiple sets, maybe even rep ranges of 8 to 10 for 10 sets in certain muscle groups. But it won't be at extreme weights. It'll be at more reasonable weights. This is more volume based, and this has worked for me before. This may not be the recommendation from anybody else. However, this is what I did even prior to getting in the military. High volume at medium to really close, medium to a little bit low medium weight. That way I'm not overstressing the joints, I'm not overstressing the muscle, but at the same time I'm getting the volume, I'm getting the work. I can feel that, and when it comes down to really pushing for those last bits, I'm really getting that effort there in all the muscle groups I want. Now, ultimately, with that activity, I'm hoping that by the end of this, I should have three goals that I can actually attain. I want to be able to hit a minimum of half my weight, hopefully even, 75% of my weight, and that's based on my current weight. So 250, or was 250 when I started this, but I want to be able to hit, 125 to 150 pounds, 160 pounds in the bench press. I want to also be able to hit around the same when it comes to a lat pull down. And I say that because the bent over bar row, I know I can do it. But I know I'll be able to pull a lot more weight, but it looks a little, for me, I don't know if it's because I'm heavy and the way it is, it just feels like I'm jerking a little more and my body might move around, but we'll see. Either way, either lat pull down or the bent over barbell row. I want to be in that same weight range. And I'm hoping to be able to hit 2 plates again, or 225 pounds on a squat. That's kind of my goal range for the end of this challenge. So I not only have goals for weight loss, not only do I have goals for changing my skin conditions, and you probably are going to be able to see it as my face goes from being red splotchy, and I go away from having trying to remember where I had a skin tear at, like actual skin tears from this dang crappy disease. And I apologize for anybody else who has to deal with this because I hate it. But I want to also have strength goals. So not only am I going to be mentally strong, but I'm going to be physically strong at the end of this. And like I said, I'm going to be mentally strong. This isn't just about the challenge. This is about changing my diet. my body composition, but also my overall mental mind health. These goals just are not just for today during this thing. Um, I'm going to do everything I can to make a conscious effort to make this a forever change. Um, I mean, mentally and physically, I want this to be part of my soul, who I am. Um, my diet may modify when I reach my ideal weight, but maintaining efforts will not. I'm not going to allow myself to fall down this path again. I want to be around for many, many, many years. So as you can see, I've shaved my face, I've shaved my head. I'm considering this boot camp. Tomorrow's day one of actual working out. I may have these video cut sections just to kind of show you the exercises I am doing. But this is just more of, this is my journey. Let me show you a real quick physical glance of what I actually look like so that you can kind of get in your mindset, oh crap, he's fat. But hopefully by the end of this, not. Look at that belly. So I'm kind of a big boy, but hopefully we'll get a little top heavy. I want to stop being bottom heavy and become top heavy. And also through this, if anybody else happens to also want to venture along, I believe Jeff Nippard's challenge may be closed this time, but that doesn't mean you can't also challenge yourself. That doesn't mean you can't change who you are, change even small things. I mean, just taking additional steps during the day. Small improvements make big gains in the long term. And if you want to champion along with me, more the merrier. I welcome the people who are coming along. If you also happen to be questioning, do you want to do these kind of things? Is this something for you, similar to the diet or similar to the weight changes I have, or the exercises I'm going to be doing, or the plans, the strategies I'm going to take on? There's many, many different resources out there, and I suggest if you'd like, look into them. I will give you a few of my own personal resources. These are the ones that I follow. These are on YouTube, but I'm sure you can find them elsewhere, probably Instagram, Facebook, whatever. I can't remember all the things. I'm sure it's not Snapchat, but maybe. Whatever resources. I mean, Twitter, etc. Other social media platforms might also have these individuals there for you. And I will say, even if you don't get direct contact from them, their output is very good, from at least for my mind. And I've been following many of these individuals for years and have slowly been building my own knowledge and where do I want to go and what's my avenue and how am I going to get there. So first, I can't not say at Jeff Nippard is probably one of the best resources. He takes a very scientific approach and actually will talk through the subjects. You can get very detailed information on muscle groups, overall plans, basic builds, things that you can do. And this is not just a bodybuilding YouTube channel. I mean, this channel is trying to educate you at the same time as developing you and allowing you ways and routines and that you can actually modify your body and change yourself. You want to laugh while also seeing ideas or diet ideas or just funny things from the gym. I say Will Tennyson. He's also really good. Another person I would like to reference is Athlete X. Now, he may not have the specific ideas that everyone feels is, oh, this is great. But he does really give a good detailed breakdown of your muscle groups, how they work. Sometimes he's a professional trainer for many of these athletes, professional athletes. But he gives good breakdowns of exercises, things that may be less impactful if you have joint problems, or things that may be more impactful for what he believes will grow muscles. Great. But if we get into that, then I also have other people that I feel, at least for me, touch me a little more personally in the, okay, I believe in that. But this is a little bit more towards the bodybuilding. This is Renaissance periodization. Dr. Mike Gesertel. Very funny also. Very good and detailed instruction, detail into what's growing. Also sometimes critiques on other people's. Be aware, it might get a little offensive. I'm ex-military, so it doesn't offend me, but I've heard people say, oh, that was too far. Makes me laugh. Sorry. Another person I think is very calm if you happen to be looking into more of a chill zen, but more muscle focused trainer. Look into Coach Eugene Teo. He's also got some very, very great detail descriptions. You will see someone who was competing at a very, very strict body requirement level, who then is also, who has kind of reverted from what I want to be or desire to be, to saying, you know what, this is just not healthy. I can't maintain, 4, 5%, 6% body fat levels, and is grown, and then can also discuss like what are the changes, strength gains, what are the positives for health benefits, etc. Being really in that middle ground where you're not quite where I am, obese, but where you're also not strictly down to the point where you're just muscle and bone and tissue, and you're not pro bodybuilder dehydrated on the stage. If you're more in like calisthenics route, you want to do push-ups, you want to do pull-ups, you want to do things that you can do without even equipment, I suggest people like Chris Area or Brownie. These are totally two different approaches, but they both will give you very, very great educational information. One is a little bit more fun and playful, and Brownie, and then Chris Area is very, very strict and instructional, but it comes across direct and easy to understand. And as I said, if you happen to be jumping into or even interested in looking at the carnivore diet, these are my resources, and these are the people that had me have the discussion with my doctor. Steak and Butter Gal, Sean Baker, MD, Paul Saladino, MD, and Thomas DeLure, official. All these channels are from a totally different approach. I would say that Thomas DeLure feels more like a dietitian to me, and he covers a lot of topics. He covers different diet types, different supplements, different ways of eating, and even sometimes training. Paul Saladino and Sean Baker specifically are more geared towards a structured understanding of carnivore, and I believe that they both have a very similar approach. Also, Dr. Ken Berry, who came up with the carnivore diet, at least from a book standpoint. These are very structured medical professionals who have basically supported and championed the carnivore diet in the background. Also, if you want a little bit something more that may even give you diet ideas, may come at it from more of a human purpose and not so much of a, like this doctor's telling me to do X, Y, and Z, I would say look at the Steak and Butter Gal. But that's all I have for today. Tomorrow will be my first day of actual exercising. I have about 30 more steps to actually finish my 8K and hopefully go for a little more and almost fill up all my rings. This is a go, everybody, and thanks for coming along, and have a blessed day.